Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just read out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. All right, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take your shoes off before you come in the house. And the Celtics lost this first Summer League game 119-114 to the Miami Heat. But what you want to see in Summer League are flashes from the guys you expect to be on the team long term. So here, the first guy we're going to start with, of course, is Jaden Springer, who had a phenomenal game, 23 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, 8 for 15 from the floor. And the most impressive thing to me is the pace that he played with, and it was obvious to see what spots on the court he likes the best. And in this game, it was just a matter of make or miss because he got to those spots so well. And his passing kind of surprised me too. Again, 6 assists. I think he only had 1 turnover. So here in the pick and roll with Queta, who sets some really good screens in this game, and he's just going at his own pace, not deterred by any defense. You're going to see a dig by Larson here, just goes right over, and then he's going to act like he's going to shoot for the longest amount of time that he can to draw Clearware in. He draws him, dumps it right back to Queta for the dunk. And here, this is just an amazing move on Larson. The in and out, the in and out cross by him, making Larson fall. And again, jumping up like he's going to attempt a layup against a shot blocker like Clearware. Jumping before he passes the ball, act like he's going to lay the ball up. Then at the last second, dropping it off to Queta for the easy dunk. All right, so this is the first clip of when I was talking about him getting to his spots, right? His body plays a big factor in getting to these spots because he has like a running back type build. He has a low center of gravity. He's very strong. When he gets there, again, in this game, it was just a matter of make or miss. He also does a nice job of, again, of reading Clearware, pump faking a couple times, have him off balance, and then rising up over him. And this mid-range area where he's in the paint, but he's not like in the restricted area, just this area here, he dominated that area and he got there whenever he wanted to in this game. Now with the real Celtics, this is what we become accustomed to with Jaden Springer, is his defense, and it did not go anywhere as his offensive load increased in the Summer League. Here, just making Jahmi'us life hell, turning him a couple of times before he in the same spot. He's just turning him, keeping him in the same spot. Then they're going to do a pick and roll. Clearware sets a nice screen, gets Jaden to switch. He gets hit, but he doesn't stop right there. Gets in front of Clearware, gets in the passing lane, gets the steal, and he drops it off of Scheierman for his first 3. All right, so here we got him coming off a handoff with Neemias Queta. Does a nice job taking a good angle and again getting to that mid-range area, not in the restricted area, but in the paint. And he does a nice job taking this angle off of the handoff, not coming off too wide, coming off as close as he can to Queta so the defender gets hit by that screen. And again, his body plays a part in him getting there and getting the shot off. He's very athletic, he's very strong, so he's able to rise up over the shot blocker in Clearware and finish the mid-range. All right, so here he is making a free throw, and this was my favorite play by Jaden Springer. It's the multiple efforts, consecutive efforts by Jaden Springer. So right after the free throw, he gets into what we know he does best, and that's being a point of attack defender, getting right into his stance, making it hard for the point guard, just like he did with Jahmi'us, making the guy turn a couple times, poking the ball loose. And this was impressive to me, right? So he finally gets past him, and he has the most experience on this team as far as NBA games. So he's the most experienced guy on this team, and the leadership struck here because he finally gets beat. As he's running, he's telling guys where to be, right? And it just sparks communication throughout the whole team. And this was a great defensive possession by him and also the rest of the team. And it was started by him, his defense and his communication. So now he's pointing, right? You're going to see Walsh come over. You're going to see Tilly is also communicating. You're going to see Drew Peterson coming a little bit too. And then even after he gets beat, he does a nice job of getting back to the side of the guy driving. And then he's going to stay right here. And he's going to deter this baseline drive, making that guy turn. Walsh, who wasn't great in this game, but he did play good defensively for the most part. Then Drew Peterson is going to stop Keyshawn Johnson here. He's going to miss the shot. And then coming back up, Jaden Springer in control in his own pace. Walsh gets the ball to him. You're going to see a little TV celebration here. They're going to show us some Celtics green in a second. Don't mind it right there. But Jaden Springer, again, just playing at his own pace, navigating the screen, and he pulls up from 3 with confidence. That is something that we have not seen from him. He shot 3 for 6 from 3 in this game. And for the big Celtics team, what we really just need him to do is to be able to hit a catch and shoot 3. A corner 3, anything. If he can just hit those at like not even a crazy rate, just like 33%. That's going to help us because he's such a good defender. But him doing this, pulling up with confidence with a hand in his face, is crazy. And this was just an incredible physical play by Jaden Springer. This is when I got the analogy of him having like a running back type of body, right? So here, he gets a switch on Cole Swider. He's going to do a hesitation spin move and he falls down, right? But Cole Swider just bounces right off him. And He falls down, keeps his balance, Swider just bounces off him, and the one-legged, again, in that mid-range area, not in the restricted area, but he's right here in the paint, gets to his spot, and the contact balance, right? It's like a running back that falls down, but his knee's not on the ground, and he's able to get up. He stumbles, but he's able to get up and keep running. That is just incredible physical balance by Jaden Springer, and he makes the mid-range. And continuing on the theme of strength and athleticism, watch this right here by Jaden Springer. Going right over Cole Swider again, playing at his own pace, navigating the screen, spins, goes right by Jahmi'us, and Swider's just not athletic enough, and that's too late of a rotation on a guy like Jaden Springer. And next is our first round pick, Baylor Scheierman. If you've seen my scout report on him, I said that he would struggle defensively day one, and it would be primarily against the quicker guards, the shiftier guys, but in his first summer league game, he has to guard a guy like Jahmi'us who shouldn't be playing in summer league, but I do like him playing in summer league because there are guys that should be playing that are not playing, and I just like that he's working hard and trying to get any extra work that he can. And this was just a really good test for him. Like, he got blown by a couple times. There was a couple times where he played good defense and Hawkins still scored, but again, there are times where he's going to play good defense. He's going to use his body to wall up. He is a smart defender. He does a nice job of turning Hawkins again. He does a spin move, and he's able to stay right there with him, keep his hands up, and force him to pass the ball out. But on the offensive side of the ball, Scheierman is an all-around player. He does everything on the offensive side of the ball. He can handle, he can pass, he can shoot, and he's a big guy. He's 6'6", about 220. Guys that are weaker than him, he doesn't even have to do a real dribble move to get to where he wants. He's just backing the guy down from the three-point line, gets to where he wants, and Anton Watson, who also had a good game, a solid game from him, very heady, high IQ player, sees Khalil Ware is just ball watching, cuts on him, and Scheierman a great dime to Watson for the layup. And some of these passes by Scheierman really got him going. He missed his first 3 shots. 2 of them were air balls from 3, which we're probably never going to see again. 2 air balls from him in the same game. But these passes really got him going. He had 3 straight assists, and this seemed to get him into the flow of the game. And here he is again on the defense side of the ball, getting over the screen, staying in front of Jahmi'us, keeping him in front of him. He drives. He's able to use his body right there to wall him up, stop him for a little bit, and he gets help from Anton Watson here to steal. And the transition, again, the passing by Baylor Scheierman was amazing in this game. Sees the first cut by, I think that's Tilly. Yeah, that's Tilly. He also sees that this guy's running towards him and that this guy is going to step over to stop the cut by Tilly. Comes off of that read early, a touch pass to Drew Peterson, and he finishes with the layup. And his biggest quality is being able to shoot the ball, but he is a movement shooter too. He's a guy that's not just going to stand still and have 95% of his shots. Well, in the summer league, he's not going to have like 95% of his shots just be standstill shots. If he gets time with the Celtics, the real Celtics, then yeah, he probably won't be doing a lot of this. But here comes off the handoff by Queta, curls all to the mid-range area, and the easy jumper for him. All right, here's again on the defense side of the ball. Sorry for the quality on some of these. The hotel Wi-Fi isn't the best, but right here, he has a 2-on-1 because Walsh got switched on to Ware, so Queta decided to help off the corner. Keyshawn Johnson is not a guy that is going to hurt you from 3 most times. So now on the weak side, Scheierman has a 2-on-1, and you see Hawkins, and he's gonna like read Hawkins a little bit, right? And he's gonna fake like he's just gonna stand right there. Hawkins sees it. He's reading Hawkins' eyes like a cornerback or a safety in the situation, and he picks the pass off. And here, just an incredible pick and roll rep by Baylor Scheierman, knowing who he's going up against. Khalil Ware is a guy that affects shots and he blocks shots, right? Him coming off this screen, Queta sets a nice screen to get Swider, and it all starts with this screen by Queta, because if Swider's able to get up over this screen, Khalil Ware does not feel that he has to come up to Scheierman, right? And then his shooting also makes Khalil Ware come up. He jumps out of position. Scheierman easy down to Queta. And these last 2 clips are just Scheierman hitting some threes. It was nice to see him get his shot going at the end, especially with the game still in the balance and still in reach for the Celtics. Hopefully these get him more confident. And this one I really like, just fading to his side with Khalil Ware contesting on his strong hand. He still knocks it down. This video is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winners roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the PrizePicks community today. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less, it's that easy. With the finals over, the hoops action doesn't stop on Prize Picks. Women's basketball is still heating up, with stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese looking to make names for themselves alongside greats like Brianna Stewart and Aja Wilson. You could win up to 100 times your cash watching them ball out. If you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has got you covered every week, from lowering select players' stat projections on Tuesday to help your lineup hit, or getting your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup on Fridays. I've been using Prize Picks for about 2 years and I've made a pretty penny in that span. I've only been doing men's basketball and football in the past, but with the rise of women's basketball, I think it's time for me to get into that. I remember making my first $10 deposit and receiving an instant $10 bonus. If you have the skills, you can play for a shot at turning your $10 into $1,000. Once again, download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less, it's that easy. All right, so next we have JD Davison, who had 19.7 assists and was 6 for 7 from the field, 3 for 3 from the three-point line, which is a really good improvement. Well, if it is an improvement, but it was just a really good sign to see from JD Davison. And this was an impressive shot to me. Patience in the pick and roll, does a little sweep through, pick up right here, and is able to just get like a little fake hook shot floater over Khalil Ware for the bucket. And for JD Davison at the moment, his best two attributes are his athleticism and his passing, and he uses both on this play to get a layup for Jahmi'us Ramsey, who had a great game in this game. So here he's driving with the pick and roll with Ron Harper Jr. He's able to draw 3 defenders into the paint. They know he's athletic, can get up, but then drops the pass off with the left hand to Ramsey for the layup. And again, the shot was just really impressive from 3. There was a couple where he had to shoot them, but this one was just fluid right out the pick and roll. Khalil Ware's dropping back. They know that, you know, he's not going to be hitting a lot of these at a high rate, but Khalil Ware just steps back, and again the shot just looked fluid. There was a couple of these where he had to shoot them at the end of the shot clock, but here just comes right out the pick and roll. He sees that Khalil Ware is dropping back. They know that he's not a guy that's a sniper from 3, but he reads the defense, sees what they're giving him, and he had no problem taking this shot all game. And the end of this clip is cut off to protect my boy Scheierman a little bit. Can't let y'all be seeing him at his lowest. But here we got JD Davison in the same coverage. He could have stopped and popped again. Could have just did it right there. But he elects to get closer to Khalil Ware, forcing Keyshawn Johnson to come over just a little bit. Now, if he stops right there, Keyshawn is able to relax. But as soon as JD gets inside the 3-point line, Keyshawn takes a couple steps over. He reads that and fires a pass to Scheierman in the corner. Now, this is an in the shot clock situation, but I mean, it looks good. It didn't touch any rim between the legs. It doesn't look bad. It does not look bad. And now again, I said this last time, he shot 7 for 15 from 3 in last year's summer league. Then he came to the G League and shot about 26%. This again isn't the end all be all, right? This is not me saying that, oh, he's finally a 3-point shooter, but just seeing this from JD, a guy that's not a shooter, is impressive. Now, the only negative I have about JD in this game primarily was the turnovers. He didn't play great defense, but he wasn't a turnstile, right? But the turnovers, had 4 in this game last summer league. I came away drawing from it that he needs to improve in his ball security. He could have had about 7 turnovers in this game, right? Because on about every 3 drives, he was getting a strip and the ball was getting loose. So here, he's just driving, and he just has to be more aware. He has to pick the ball up stronger with 2 hands. I think Jaime gets a piece of that and the turnover there. All right, so here we got another clip of him driving, and he doesn't see the dig here by Zion pulling, which is fine. But if there's just a way for him to hold the ball stronger, maybe like cradle it like a running back while he's in there, or just not have it as exposed. So just a simple dig isn't the thing that just gets the ball away from him. If there's just a way for him to be more protective of the ball in this situation, then that would be great. All right, so next is my boy Neemias Queta. He had 20 points in this game, 9 rebounds, 9 for 15 from the field. He didn't have as great as a game as the stat line suggests, but he was really solid in this game. The offensive rebounds, I believe he had 6 of them, just finishing oversized against Khalil Ware through contact against the and-1. And even though I think Queta had a solid game, I won't have a lot of clips for him because a lot of his points you guys seen in the Jaden Springer section with those drop-offs and the JD Davison section with those drop-offs. So, but here we have him seeing the switch with Scheierman on Khalil Ware. He comes off the corner again against Keyshawn Johnson, and this was something that the Celtics did on purpose. They had him checking Keyshawn Johnson because he's a guy that's not going to make you pay a lot from the 3-point range, so he's able to come off and help play that free safety role, and he does that here contesting Khalil Ware. And this was one of the first things I ever noticed about Queta when first seeing him play, was his ability to play both the pick and roll handler and the roller in the pick and roll. So here he has very nimble feet. He's able to use his frame to go back and forth between the handler and the roller to cause some indecision by the handler. You see him going back and forth between Khalil Ware and Larson. He chooses Larson as Khalil Ware gets deeper into the paint and he hasn't been passed to, and he blocks the alley-oop. All right, so here we got Jaden Springer getting stopped on the drive, but he dumps it off to Queta, and here just a touch against Khalil Ware again, able to use the footwork, get to the other side of the basket and finishes with the left hand. And lastly here, off the broken play by Jordan Wall, she shows the athleticism, high pointing the ball, aggressively catching it, coming down and going straight up. And last but not least, Jahmi'us Ramsey, who has 16 points in this game, 6 for 8 from the field, and the efficiency and the scoring is something that has been on par with him as he's progressed as an NBA player. So I remember him coming out of college, Texas Tech as a freshman, one and done, a guy that was looked at to be an NBA scorer. The Kings selected him in the second round, and this past season in the G League, he averaged 22 points and 8 assists on 55% shooting from the field and 42% from three. So with him, it's scoring and scoring efficiently, just like he showed in this game. But here he does a nice job reading the tag man as Watson sets the screen and rolls. He knows that the tag man is going to go over to Watson for a little bit, kicks it over to JD, and he hits the corner three. And he's just a really dynamic scorer. You can see it when he plays the game. He was just wired and born to score the basketball. Here in transition, he gets the rebound, does the overhand cross on Keyshawn Johnson, and finishes on the other side of the rim. And something I've seen from Ramsey is that he's really aware where the defense is, and he is aware of what moves he has to do to create certain angles to get to the rim. So here's the pick and roll. You see Zion pulling step up, tweens to the other side, knows that Jaime is there, going to dig, avoids the dig, brings the ball up, and there's another step through move against Josh Christopher to get the angle he wants and finishes the layup. Again, sorry for the bad quality, but he had 9 points in his fourth quarter, and just watch the first step on Johnson. Bam, lightning quick first step. And then again, knowing where the defense is, Josh Christopher here is going to dig, move the ball away from him, and uses his body well. Look at this, using his body well, going into Keyshawn Johnson to slow him down, making it tougher to block his shot. Johnson even jumps early, gets him in the air, should have been an and one. And lastly, again, I told you guys that he shot 42% last year in the G League. He also played some NBA games with the Raptors. Here, looking Josh Christopher in his face from range, doesn't see it. Well, he sees a hand, but it just doesn't matter for a scorer like Ramsey. Sees the hand, still puts the ball up from range and drains it. But that is the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just swing it out there a little bit more, and I will see you guys in the next video. But this is Nick. Peace.